It's the 21st show. I'm Brian Mackey. A couple weeks ago, we talked about the growing field of filmmaking here in Illinois. That was ahead of Ebert Fest. Of course, there are many students in Illinois who aspire to be filmmakers themselves, but breaking into the field can be slow going. So imagine being a college freshman working on a documentary that ends up on a streaming platform. Not just a class project that ends up on YouTube, but an actual documentary for an actual commercial streaming platform. All that happened to Sawyer Carver, who's now a sophomore at Augustana College in the Quad Cities. They became a videographer on a short-form documentary about a cafe and bookstore in Moline called the Atlas Collective and what that space means to people. The result of that project is now streaming on the Roku channel. Let's listen to a clip.
Hi, my name is Kasha Lekena. I am a full-time social worker with an outlet as an artist. I sell stickers, art prints, and reusable sticker books here. Atlas means like the world to me, honestly. I've kind of joked recently that even though Atlas has only been around for a little over a year now, they have been like a really big part of my personal adult history.
All right, Sawyer Carver joins me now to talk about how the documentary happened and what they learned from the experience. Sawyer, welcome to the 21st show.
Hello.
Also with us is Eslin Feigley. He's an Augustana alum, and more to the point for our conversation, he's co-founder and owner of Fresh Films, which is a national organization focused on teaching filmmaking fundamentals to young people. Sawyer worked with them in Rock Island as part of this documentary. Eslin, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
If you have questions about Sawyer's experience or about filmmaking in the Quad Cities, you can join the conversation in the next few minutes for just the end of the show, I should say, at 800-222-9455. 800-222-9455. All right, Sawyer, what made you want to go into filmmaking?
So over my life, I've kind of just always had like a strong desire to do something creative in the future. I was always really interested in creative writing and music and photography, and film just kind of felt like all those things combined into one. And I also like how there's just like a lot of variety in the industry. There's so many different roles and types of projects, so I never really felt like a limiting like work field.
Yeah. What were your expectations? What did you think, going to college for this kind of thing would be like?
Um, I was definitely a little nervous. I was never really for sure like if it was gonna stick. I mean, when I talked to like friends and family, they're like, "Oh wow, that's a very hard career to get into. Good luck."
Yes, I know the feeling. They're like, "Oh, you're doing that? Oh, great! A lot of jobs in that field, yeah." So, but you persisted, obviously.
I did. And it's been really rewarding being able to work with Fresh Films. It's really felt like it's given me like platform and a voice that I didn't think I'd experience until a lot later in college or even in my life.
Well, that's a perfect segue to Eslin Feigley with Fresh Films. So, talk about what Fresh Films tries to do for young filmmakers, people like Sawyer.
Well, that's a great question. I mean, I think Fresh Films is basically Fresh Films is a film studio, production studio. So we make commercials, television, all sorts of different things. But along the way, when you come onto our sets, you'll see 15 teenagers or young adults actually apprenticing and working on the equipment and working with the equipment and being actively involved in the production, not just standing there watching, but actively on cameras, on audio slates, calling all the different shots. So that's something we've been doing for more than 20 years.
Sawyer, this short film, as any film, is a process of collaboration. How did you and the others on your team decide last year that you were going to do a documentary on this small business in Moline?
So with the project, it was actually the first idea that one of my group mates had threw out, Renata Lara, and it kind of stuck with us just immediately because my group really resonated with their values of supporting and just making a really comfortable space for the LGBTQ plus community, but also just a lot of local writers and artists.
So your role on this project, as I understand it, was videographer or cinematographer. I don't know how you describe that, but talk about what goes into that work.
So for this project, mostly what I did is we got there to their cafe and we mainly just shot a lot of B-roll. A lot of what I shot was made into it. And then after getting all the B-roll, we went ahead and did the interview. And I manned one of the cameras also with my partner, Min.
So, Estlin, you this is part of a series of short films on Roku, all under this umbrella title of Change Makers. Talk about
Yep.
what the series is aiming for.
Yeah, basically, we work with Roku for about 4 years, and so it's all part of the Fresh Films program. So we have a year-long program that we run, and filmmakers. We have 35 sites all over the country, Los Angeles, Atlanta, obviously here in the Quad Cities, Chicago, Boston, and so they do four projects. So the first project's a music video, second project was a documentary. Next project, we worked with America's Got Talent, American Idol to create kind of a talent show in their style, and then finally a short film. So the documentary we had done with Roku, and this literally came up 4 years ago. So the best of the best get a chance to they're put in front of the Roku folks, and then they pick the Roku folks picked Sawyer's documentary. And so, yeah, it airs on Roku, and it's been a series that we've done for 4 years with the Roku channel, which is pretty cool.
Hmm,
So, yeah,
nice. All right, let me remind listeners this is the 21st show. We're talking about college filmmaking, in particular with an Augustana student who helped make a short film documentary about a cafe and bookshop in the Quad Cities. Their name is Sawyer Carver. The documentary was selected to stream on Roku as part of a Change Makers series. I should also say we'll have a link to this on our website, 21stshow.org. It's a pretty quick watch, about 5 minutes long. Again, you can find that at 21stshow.org. Sawyer's now a sophomore. They're talking with us today about their experience making this film. And we're also hearing from Estlin Feigley, who runs Fresh Films. Sawyer helped produce this film during their time as an intern with Fresh Films. You can join us, 800-222-9455. So, Sawyer, you finished making this documentary in the spring of last year. You don't know yet what's going to come of it. You do end up getting to work as a production assistant for a full-length film shot in Rock Island over the following summer. What was that like?
It was an amazing opportunity. It was just like another experience that I didn't feel like I was going to get until after I graduated college. And I, it was amazing because I was being able to work alongside industry professionals, and as a production assistant, there was times where I wasn't really doing anything, so I would just kind of be able to act as a fly on the wall and watch these people work and learn in real time, which was something that I hadn't really got to experience yet at college.
What exactly does a production assistant do? I think that's one of those terms we hear a lot, but you know, the imagination runs wild. So, what was your day-to-day work like?
So my day-to-day work, a lot of what I would do is kind of just assisting every different part of everyone on set with the costumes department or the camera department. And additionally, I would do things such as getting breakfast and lunch, and just kind of being a general helper. There's no really like clear thing that you will be doing day to day. It changes each day, and that's honestly kind of what I really like about it is how diverse it is and what a variety that you get to do.
Can you tell us anything about the film, or is it like top secret? Or
Um,
ooh, I put you on the
I
spot.
I don't I don't know. I think
that's
Esselyn
fun.
would have the answer to that
Okay.
question.
I'm having fun listening to you, Sawyer. Yeah, Sawyer knows a lot of what was going on in the film. Basically, it's about a little boy who the film we shot was in the Quad Cities. We had about 150 filmmakers or teens and young adults from all over the country that came into the QC, shot the film. We are currently in the middle of kind of putting it out to festivals. We've got some distribution on it, so it's kind of fun. More yet to come on that. But the film basically is about a little boy who decides to steal the sacred groundhog, think Punxsutawney Phil or something like that, in order to save his parents' marriage. So the parents are going to tell him that they are going to go to the parents go to the cabin. They want to go to the cabin. That's something a family does. And so they decide that they want to get a divorce, and he overhears it. But if the road stays snowy and cold, then they won't go to the cabin, and then maybe his parents won't get divorced, which is a terrible idea. However, that's kind of the fun of the play. So basically, these two 10-year-olds end up stealing the local groundhog, and he's kind of a jerk. So we had puppeteers on set. The groundhog's a puppet. The puppeteer was a really, really talented guy, Bradley Freeman Jr. He does a bunch of stuff for the Muppets. He is, I think, playing a couple of main characters for the Muppets right now, but he really, really talented guy. Working with him, he played Gary. So a lot of fun.
I think I saw Mark Evan Jackson, who will be familiar to Brooklyn Nine-Nine fans, as the husband of the police captain on that program.
That's right. He also plays God, and I think Ted Danson's show there.
The Good Place.
But it was a lot of fun, and he was here. He was here in Rock Island. Mark Evan Jackson was here shooting that. He came in. I don't know. I think, Sawyer, you got a chance to kind of work with Mark Evan Jackson a little bit. I don't know if you were mostly on set stuff. So.
I did. I actually got to have lunch with him during that day, which was really amazing.
Very nice. So, Eslyn, we're coming to the end of our time. How common is it for a film like this to come to the Quad Cities?
To be honest with you, we're hoping to make that a lot more common. We're trying to build a studio here in Rock Island, which is really exciting. We end up getting a grant from the state of Illinois to try to build a studio. So I'm trying to make this a little more often, but not very often. A lot of great history here. The Blues Brothers are from Rock Island. So everybody kind of knows that in this area. But as far as movie going, there are quite a few filmmakers that are from here. However, a lot of them leave. So we're trying to get them back.
Yeah. Well, on that note, Sawyer, where do you hope your career goes after college?
So for me, I actually want to stay in Illinois to continue my career. In the past, I'd been thinking to go off to California, but honestly, right now I'm seeing a lot more opportunities popping up here, and not just in places like Chicago, but opportunities like Fresh Films or also the event Alternating Currents. And also just recently, the Quad City Film Office is setting up in downtown Rock Island. And like Fresh Films, they're hoping to make movie making a lot more common around here. And, being from the Quad Cities, I don't know, it makes me think that I might not have to travel out super far. I mean, maybe I'll go to Chicago, but I'm also only a sophomore, so it's kind of hard to say right now.
Nice. All right. Well, Sawyer Carver was a videographer on a short documentary called, or I should say, it's part of a Changemakers series, and it is streaming on Roku. We'll again have a link to that on our website, which is 21stshow.org. We've also been speaking with Eslyn Feigley, who runs Fresh Films, which is a production company that worked on this and has worked on other productions, as we just heard. Eslyn and Sawyer, thanks so much for sharing some of your life with us today here on the 21st Show.
Sure. Thank you so much for having us. I really appreciate it.
All right, that is it for us today. Coming up tomorrow on the program, we're going to have an update on efforts in the Illinois General Assembly to placate the Chicago Bears. Maybe it was a little biased how I said that, but to appeal to the Chicago Bears to keep their team in Illinois, perhaps in Arlington Heights, moving out of Soldier Field to the suburbs. We'll talk about that, as well as other things happening in the Illinois General Assembly as lawmakers enter the final month of their legislative session this year. Plus, we're going to speak with an author, Lucy Long, founder and director of the Center for Food and Culture. Her latest book examines apples in the Midwestern imagination. It's called Sweet, Tart, and golden. That's all coming up tomorrow here on The 21st Show, which is produced by Christine Hatfield and Jose Zapata. Our digital producer is Kulsum Khan. Technical direction and engineering from Jason Croft and Steve Mork. Reginald Hardwick's our news director. The 21st Show is a production of Illinois Public Media. I'm Brian Mackey. Thanks for listening. We'll talk with you again tomorrow.